Affordability is the public's main concern with the proposed 30% Rocky Mountain Power rate hike. A Cheyenne man is acquitted in a road rage shooting, and a reality star is suing the Game and Fish Department. We'll take a look at these stories and more today from Wyoming's largest news organization. I'm Wendy Kaur for Cowboy State Daily. Affordability was the concern at the forefront during the 7-day marathon hearing this month of the Wyoming Public Service Commission, centering on a 29.2% rate hike request by Rocky Mountain Power. Cowboy State Daily's Renee Jean reports that from the first day through the last, affordability was a river running through a hearing thick with complicated modeling strategies, industry jargon and acronyms, and stiff legalese.
The company's forecasts show a drop of 0.5% for load in Wyoming, and yet costs are going up 30%. That's a pretty substantial jump. The company says 95% of that is due to the cost of buying power on the market. People are convinced that it's because of renewables, but the company says renewables saved Wyoming customers $85 million or so off of what they would have asked for.
This is the first story in a series unpacking the major issues raised in a 7-day marathon rate increase hearing for Rocky Mountain Power. A Cheyenne man was acquitted of felony assault charges when the jury ruled he acted in self-defense when he fired back on a truck after being rammed, shot at, and followed home. Cowboy State Daily's Claire McFarland reports that Jason Lyle Jr., who was 21 at the time of the incident, had been charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault for shooting at the radiator and tire of a truck that he said had been one of 3 vehicles that had surrounded his Mazda sedan and fired shots at him.
At first, it looked damning because he claimed that these vehicles were kind of running him down on the road and ramming him, and someone was shooting at him. And when police investigated the supposed scene, they couldn't find any shells. So it looked like he had no self-defense case. But as the hours and days went on, his dad actually went to another intersection, and there lay the shells. And he called deputies to the intersection, and more evidence like this kept emerging throughout the case. And this week, a jury acquitted Jason Lyle Jr.
The jury deliberated for about an hour before declaring Jr. innocent. Wyoming Republican firebrand and conservative podcast host Joey Correnti has been nominated by the Carbon County Republican Party to fill a vacant seat on that county's commission. Correnti, who lives in Saratoga, does have legitimate political chops, according to Cowboy State Daily's Leo Wolfson.
He's the former chairman of the Carbon County Republican Party, and he's also had some troubles with the law. He pleaded guilty to reckless endangerment stemming from a shooting incident that occurred in Saratoga. So a lot of people have mixed feelings about Mr. Correnti, but as of right now, he is a candidate for Carbon County Commissioners.
Despite the party nominating 2 other candidates earlier this month, the Carbon County GOP chair made a proposal at the state GOP Central Committee meeting last weekend that the Wyoming Republican Party officially endorsed Correnti as its preferred candidate for the seat. Wolfson said the move was unusual, as nominating local people to fill vacant county commission seats is handled by political parties at the county level. I'll be back with more news right after this.
No one should go hungry on Thanksgiving, and yet hundreds of men, women, and children from our community are homeless and hurting this holiday season. Yet you can provide hope. Just $2.58 provides a hot meal and life-changing services at the Wyoming Rescue Mission, like safe, welcoming shelter, support, and long-term recovery to help them get back on their feet. Learn more and give online at wyomission.org. That's wyomission.org.
A reality television star and hunting guide is suing multiple Wyoming government agencies and their employees, saying they violated her privacy, hurt her reputation, and caused her emotional distress while pursuing a poaching case against her. Melanie Peterson of Texas filed a lawsuit Thursday against the Wyoming Game and Fish and multiple game wardens, against the Wyoming Board of Professional Outfitters and Guides and at least 2 of its employees, and against the Sublette County Sheriff's Office. Cowboy State Daily's Claire McFarland reports that Peterson claims the state officials unconstitutionally cornered and questioned her in 2019, seized all of her electronics, questioned and intimidated her preteen grandchildren, and gossiped about her case.
She's saying the game wardens kind of cornered her and interrogated her in her home and made her grandchildren cry, and then seized 11 of her devices in what she called an unconstitutional and overbroad warrant. And then she claims that some agents disseminated information from the evidence in the case, and we're talking about nude photos of her that referenced, I believe, cosmetic surgeries and telling people, yeah, she had a lot of work done.
Before the poaching case started in 2021, Peterson won the 2018 reality show Extreme Huntress. She'd also set a new world record with an air rifle, paving the way for the legalization of hunting big game with air rifles. Wyoming's gotten a lot of love from Food Network superstar Guy Fieri and his cooking show Empire, and another Wyoming eatery will soon savor the exposure that comes from being featured on a popular show with an international audience. An upcoming episode of Fieri's flagship show, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, aka Triple D, will feature 307 Pizza, a Cody-based food truck that cooks wood-fired pizzas. Cowboy State Daily's Andrew Rossi says owner Elizabeth Campbell is both excited and a little apprehensive about what might happen after the show airs.
In the history of the show, which has been airing since 2007, over 800 restaurants and food trucks have been featured, and nearly all of them experienced a windfall in more customers and more business from being featured on a reality show that has an international audience.
The episode of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives featuring 307 Pizza premieres on the Food Network at 9 p.m. November 17th. And Outdoors writer Mark Hines is doing a series on hunting in all 23 counties in Wyoming. It turns out that for hunters, Park County has it all.
You know, a lot of people, when they think of Park County, what do they think about? You know, they think about the Shoshone National Forest, the mountains going up into Yellowstone, you know, steep, rugged country, lots of elk, grizzly bears, maybe some mule deer, that sort of thing. But there's a lot more to Park County than that. You've got the Badger Basin, which is a great place for hunting antelope. You've got the North Fork and the South Fork, the lowlands down there, which are great for elk and deer. And then, you know, you get out into the further eastern part of the counties and you've got really some great bird hunting, some great whitetail deer hunting. And so really for the one county that probably has nearly every single species of Wyoming wildlife in it, Park County is it.
And that's today's news. If you're ready to unlock your daily dose of Wyoming, sign up for the Cowboy State Daily newsletter to stay in the know. I'm Wendy Core for Cowboy State Daily.